Hey everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. My name is Paul. I am here on behalf of Dolores Consoles. If you are new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of our tech tutorials. Today we are going to dive into a useful feature called port forwarding on a Mikrotik router. By the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to configure port forwarding. So what exactly is port forwarding? Port forwarding is a technique that allows you to redirect traffic from one network port to another. This is essentially useful when you want external devices to access services that are running on your private network. Some scenarios where port forwarding is useful are hosting a web server. Let's say you're running a web server like Apache or Nginx on a local machine, and you want users outside your network to access it via HTTP, that is port 80, or HTTPS, that is port 443. This is where port forwarding comes in. 2. Remote desktop access. If you want to connect to a computer within your private network from an external location using remote desktop protocol, you will need port forwarding to direct traffic to the right machine. RDP typically uses port 3389. Also for surveillance system, if you're using security cameras or a DVR or NVR system, you want to view video feeds remotely. Port forwarding will help route that data from your private network to the outside world. In this tutorial, I'll be using GNS3 with a Mikrotik router. I'll also be using Winbox to manage the router configuration. I'll be using Ubuntu server also with Apache 2 installed. Now let's dive right in. For my setup, I have a Mikrotik router connected to my ISP with the IP address 10.1.4.223. I also have an Ubuntu server with the IP address 192.168.88.2 connected to the router. Now let's check the configuration of the router. Click on IP addresses. You will see two IP addresses, one for my LAN and the other for the connection to my ISP. I have also configured the masquerade NAT rule. You click on IP, firewall, and NAT. The masquerade rule dynamically translates private IP addresses into public IP address. Now for the Ubuntu server, I have Apache 2 installed. So let's confirm the status of Apache on this server. To confirm if Apache is running, you type service Apache 2 and status. Now you see Apache 2 is installed and is running. I have also changed the default welcome page for Apache. So this is my current index page for the welcome page. So let's go back to the Mikrotik router and configure port forwarding. So on your Winbox, you click on IP, firewall, NAT, click on the plus sign, and go to the General tab, select Destination NAT for the chain. For the destination address, type in the IP address assigned to you by your ISP, which in our case is 10.1.4.223. For the protocol, select TCP. For the destination port, type port 80. Go to the Action tab, select Destination NAT. Enter the server IP address, in our case is 192.168.88.2, and the port in our case is port 80. Click Apply and OK. Now let's confirm this works. Open your browser and enter the IP address of your router. You can see we are in the welcome page of Apache. Thank you.